everyone, we welcome you to the Voice of India's Energy Leaders, powered by Energetica India Magazine. This is your host Abha Rusgi, and today we have with us Mr. Hardip Singh, COO of Grew Solar. Hello sir, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much for having me over.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. So sir, starting off with the podcast, my first question to you is, could you briefly introduce yourself and your journey in the solar sector?
Okay, my name is, as you said, Hardip Singh. I am the CEO currently at Grew Solar. My journey in solar side started in 2019. I was CEO at Jackson India Limited. So I was there for 3 years. Then I was at Goldie Solar, and since 24, I am in Grew. So that is when the time the Grew had just started, the production came into the picture.
Okay. So how far have the solar industry come since you started and right now?
Well, it's been actually by leaps and bounds in the last 7 years that I have been associated with the solar industry. Prior to that, although the solar whole story started in 2010 or maybe a little before that, but actually it picked up pace after 2019, 18, 19. I think after the second, I think it was during the second term of the Modi government that the actual solar push, started, and they came up with various initiatives, uh, you know, uh, both on the demand side, on the supply side, then on the barriers, tariff, non-tariff. So, of course, that's also given it a major boost. You see, whether we like it or not, solar is a very policy-driven industry. So it's very policy dependent rather, and obviously when you have favorable policies coming from a government which is serious about the achieving their sustainable goals, their net zero goals, so then it's a favorable thing. So as of now, yes, solar is a sunrise industry currently, so we all need to make the best of it.
Okay, so according to you, the peak is yet to come.
Yeah, peak is yet to come. We are just, as I said, because right now we are only looking at solar, in a limited way, so rooftops, in the utility scale, but there is still very widespread usage of solar which is still untapped, or it is yet to come in. For example, on the EV side, see, EV today, there's a lot of push on the EV side, but the EV charging stations, so they are all still being charged by electricity which is generated by fossil fuels. So the whole purpose of EV is defeated. So actual EV benefit you will get when you are having EV charging stations which are also being driven by renewable energy, whether it is solar or hydro or whatever. So majorly it has to be solar and wind. And then the other is the green hydrogen. So green hydrogen is again a huge untapped area. So hydrogen itself, is an evolving subject. There is a lot of work happening, lot of government push is happening around the hydrogen space. So as and when this hydrogen also starts getting more and more popular and commercialized, so you will see the demand for solar going up also, because again same logic, you need to have green hydrogen, you can't have hydrogen produced by fossil sources, so otherwise the purpose is defeated.
So if you have to explain your leadership journey in a minute, how would you explain it? What challenges you faced? Yes.
Well, you see, this solar industry is a very fast-paced, fast-evolving, changing technologies journey. So each of my stints, whether it was in Jackson earlier or it was in Goldie or currently in Grew, so the challenges were very different at every time. Even in Grew, in the last 2 years we have been here. So the challenges have really been very different. So every day it's a new challenge because of the fast evolving industry. You need to keep thinking on your feet. Suddenly, just to give you a small example, say we had so many manufacturers which came up, in the last 1.5 years since the time ELMM got implemented. So that threw up a new challenge of manpower, because suddenly there was so much of demand for skilled manpower in the solar space, and the supply was very, very limited. So obviously there was, push and pull on all sides. So it was a new challenge. So how do you overcome that? So then we uh, decided, sat down, that no point just banking on the solar industry to supply us manpower. So we started looking at other related industries like automobiles, so which also have a similar kind of a working style. And then we started tapping into the various ITIs, the various skill development centers that the government is running. Then we try to localize, find talent in the local around our plants, so that it was easy availability. Then the challenge was to upskill them to, because the machines we are getting is, they are the latest, absolutely AI driven uh, machines, latest, which are available globally. So challenge was to upskill them, to bring them up to that level where they could actually run it. So we have, so all these, then we tied up with IIT Mumbai to get tap into their, knowledge. It was a two-way street again for in that case, because they needed an industry where they could, uh, uh, try out their experiments at an industrial scale. Uh, we needed their support, because if we were running into a problem issue, we could go back to them to asking for support. So that so like that we have been, there are various challenges. Supply chain is again, keeps cropping up once in a while. Our neighbors are are famous, or rather infamous, for disrupting the supply chain as per their whims and fancies. Whenever they feel like this, disrupt the supply chain. So that again keeps throwing up challenges. Then of course, the in between there was a lot of flip flop on the policy. The ALMM got introduced, then it got withdrawn, then it got extended. So finally, a year and a half back, when it got actually implemented, then you are seeing the fruits, that there is a spurt in the manufacturing sector on the module side. And then when they announced the ALCM, so now you see a whole spurt of a manufacturing activity which has started on the cell side. And moving on further down the value chain, uh, so as they have announced the draft for the ingot wafer for 28 June 28. So now you will you'll see a lot of activity on that side also.
So according to you, what is the next big thing? Like solar में बहुत सारे manufacturers हैं, module में mostly.
Yes.
And how difficult it is to go down the value chain?
See, it's not difficult. It's a question of intent. See, let me put it that way. Whenever any industry is going through a sunrise period, no, I'll give you an example. Say the mobile industry. So in 2010-12, when the mobile industry was at its peak, there were close to 564 registered Indian brands. Some of the top brands which were number 1, 2, Micromax, Intex, Lava, Zen. So where are they today? So at that time, if I would have told you that after 10 years Micromax will not be available, you would have laughed at me. Here is a brand doing 2,000 crore turnover in a month, and you are saying he will not be here 10 years from now. So this is a normal, what I say, period that every industry goes through. Especially when it is, going through a high in a sunrise, you will see a lot of mushrooming brands in the people who are, they are all opportunistic guys. They've come to make a fast buck when it is there. and only a few will survive, because as you go along, people who have long-term vision, long-term intentions, plans. So, as I said, intent. So you will see a lot of consolidation which will start happening now once ELCM comes in. So non-ELCM guys, so they will obviously have to consolidate. So either they will have to merge with someone, or they will just shut down, or they would have made their money by that time on the module, so they will get into some other business. And once the next phase comes of ingot wafer, so then you will see further consolidation happening.
So if we talk about, we are talking about intent, but I think capital is also equally needed. So if a person has to start their company like solar manufacturing, any idea, like if we get an idea how much capital is required to start such a business?
Very difficult to say, because it will all depend on the scale of operation that you intend to do. It will depend on what is the technologies you want to adopt when you are starting. It will depend on what is the, as I said, uh, where you want to place your brand in the value chain. You want to be considered a tier 1 brand, or a tier 2 brand, or a tier 3 brand. So depending on that, you'll have to invest money. So there's a lot of ifs and buts involved. So there's no clear-cut answer to that in terms of a figure. I won't be able to give you. But as I said, so it all depends on what you want to do. Say, I want to, for example, if I talk about Grew, so we were very clear from day one that we want to be a tier 1 brand. We want to have zero tolerance as far as quality is concerned. We want to be considered among the top 3 brands in the next 3 years. We have to be the top 3 brands. So once you have the vision and your direction clear, so then of course you start working towards that. So then all your decisions, all your investments, whether in manpower, in infrastructure, in machinery, so it will all be towards that direction. So what you have visualized yourself to be in the next 3 years. So in our case, this is what we decided. So now lot of orders we need to forego, because some customers come to us कि यार मेरे को इतना अच्छा नहीं चाहिए, आप इसको थोड़ा कम कर दो, but price कम कर दो. Now, so but that's not my, it's not the game that we are into. It's like asking a Mercedes कि आप थोड़ा सस्ती गाड़ी बना के मेरे को मारुति के प्राइस पे दे दो, because he can't make it. Even if he tries his best to reduce the price, there is a bare minimum price that a Mercedes will cost, because that is the input cost that he has incurred in terms of manpower he has invested, the machinery, the raw materials. So like we don't use we only use tier 1 bomb, raw materials. We don't use anyone below that. So my material, my end product is going to be of a certain minimum cost. So a lot of orders we have to forego. So that's okay, because I can't serve the entire value chain. I have to decide, so okay, I will serve the top end of the value chain, or the middle, or the lower. So there are various manufacturers who are addressing various segments. So there's nothing wrong or right in that. It's just that's your company strategy.
So which is the next technology that you are betting on? Right now everyone is doing TopCon.
Yes.
Yes.
So there are 2-3 technologies which are on the anvil. One is your back contact. Second is your HJT. Third is your perovskite, tandem. So these are all, I will say work in progress. A back contact is a little ahead in terms of others. HJT is not a new technology. It's been there around for some time, but it has not got commercialized to that scale level because of the cost at which it comes. So that's why it didn't become popular. Topcon actually came in much later than HJT, but it became more popular because it was easy to move from monoperk to Topcon. You didn't need much changes in the machinery equipment, and B, the cost wise it was almost at par. It was a little higher. Now it has come at par. So whereas HJT is still, cost wise, if I have to produce, it's still, and you need, different kind of machinery. both for cells and modules. Then coming to back contact, so that is, it has got commercialized to some level in China by a couple of companies. But there also it has not yet been able to achieve that level of efficiency which they themselves would like to have. So that's why it has not yet got commercialized. But what we have done, to be technology agnostic, uh, the machinery that we have installed or are getting installed, whether it's for modules or for cells, or going forward in gut wafers. So these are all technology agnostic. So tomorrow, if suddenly back contact becomes, popular, or it becomes an industry must have, so we will be able to quickly switch from TopCon to back contact, or from TopCon to HJT. So these are the two, perovskite and tandem. Yes, there is a lot of scope in that, but that's still work in progress. I don't see anything happening in that in the next 3 to 5 years. So it will take some time for it to come to that commercial scale.
So that means Grew Solar is already ready for the upcoming technologies and easily switch if
Yes,
anything happens.
absolutely. So we, within short period of time, within, I say, a few weeks, we'll be able to shift from one to the other.
Okay. So as you talked about our lovely neighbors, so when the geopolitical situations happened, how it impacted Grew Solar and how did you overcome those challenges then?
See, it didn't impact Grew Solar in isolation,
Oh,
because
yes.
we are part of the industry.
Industry, yes.
So it impacted the whole industry as a whole. Not only in India, even across the globe, it impacted. India got impacted a little more, especially after the Galwan thing. So they had stopped uh, certain exports to India and things of that sort, manpower to India. So we were trying. It actually helped us. In every challenge, you see an opportunity to improve yourself, or to, so it actually helped us. We developed, local partners, local vendors for certain products, certain raw materials. Then even for on the equipment side, we were explored on certain other, non-Chinese equipments for certain parts of our plant. So just so that we are. So today also, I can say that if there's a total shutdown from China, so still we'll be able to run the plant. So
So you
we've at
mean,
least been able to reach that level.
yes. So you mean we are not far away from self-dependence?
We are, far away in terms of volume, in terms of quality. But as I say, sustaining is different, and producing at that scale of quality and volume where you want to be is different. So to achieve that scale, it will take some time. But yes, we are on the right track. We are on the way to achieving that. But if you ask me, we really haven't reached there yet, and it's still some distance.
Because we are yet to see the peak. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you have to explain to a layman what a good module is, what are those points? That how should we select the best module? That these all points should be there.
It is like asking, how you explain a good car, because
Okay.
all the cars are same. They have four wheels, they have
Yes.
one steering wheel, they have one engine. They all look the same. So how you distinguish one from the other? So I always give this example to all my partners, vendors, my sales team, uh, that when you are choosing a module, so module is something which is a very rare product. Why I'll say rare? I'll explain it. Because this is something which comes with a 30-year warranty. Can you think of any other product which comes with a 30-year warranty? There's no other products. So even a 5 crore rupees car comes with a 5-year warranty. And here we have a module which costs you 10,000 rupees and which comes with a 30-year warranty. So this is a product, and it is going to generate revenue for you. It is producing electricity. So if it is in the utility scale, it's a direct revenue which they're generating. Even if you're putting on your rooftop, So you are saving electricity cost. So it in an indirect way it is generating revenue for you. So it is not only supposed to be used. It's not like an AC कि बंद हो गया 2 दिन बंद भी रहा तो चलो no problem, you can manage with a fan. Here if your solar plant shut down for say even for one day, so you lose revenue for one day. It's a loss. So it's not like कि चलता है चलो हो जाएगा. So here it's a net loss you will incur, which you cannot make up tomorrow. So you cannot generate double the electricity the next day to make up for the loss the previous day. So that loss which happens is a loss which is going to last you forever. You will have to bear that forever. So if you are going to use something for 30 years, you really need to know that the where you are getting that product from. It's like as I say, I always give this example of when you are having a girlfriend. So you are not too bothered ki whether which family she comes from, or which is the house, or where or it's a boyfriend. So you are not too concerned. But the moment you think of marriage, because it's long term, then you think you have to see which family, what is the education, what is the father doing, what is the mother doing, what is the sister doing. So then you go in which village she is from, who are the neighbors. You look at every angle possible to safeguard your long term, because here you are going to spend your entire life with this person. So you need to know everything about that person. It's similar. So when you are buying a module which is literally going to last you lifetime, 30 years is a lifetime. So you need to know where this module is coming from, what is the source, what is the who is the people behind this. Are they going to last for 30 years? As I said, the mobile, who people who were there 5 years back, though not there today. Mobile is something you use for 2 years, 3 years, so it's okay.
Yes.
But here you are buying a product which you are going to use for 30 years or maybe beyond. So you really need to know what is the source, what is the DNA of the people who are making. So just in this context, just let me just say for example, Grew. Now, Grew is not a standalone company. It's not formed out of nowhere. So we belong to the Chiripal group of companies. Now, Chiripal group of companies have been into manufacturing for last 52 years, 53 years, since 1972. So, and our DNA is manufacturing. So that's what we do for a living for the last 50 plus years. Firstly, so that should give you the confidence that its product is coming to you from experts. Second, in Chiripal Group, we have never exited any business, whatever we have started. So that will give you the confidence that we are here for the long term. We are not a opportunistic player. So we are here for the long haul. Third, the backward integration. So we are not here just assembling modules and making money. We are going entirely into the backward, right to the end, ingot, wafer, or maybe beyond that. So that is also shows the intent, that you have a long-term intent. So these are the various factors one should look at, especially a buyer, instead of the price, because looking at the price is very short term. It's okay for a product which you are buying for 1-2 years. But as I said, 30 years, तो आपको पूरा family history जानना जरूरी है.
True. So what is next for Grew Solar? Any new partnerships, any new investments that you are looking forward to?
We've just announced a couple of days back only, we've just got funding from Bay Capital. So before that also we had funding. So that's an ongoing process. So it will keep, as it happens, we'll be announcing. I can't tell you beforehand what's coming. On the funding side, on the IPO side, yes, we do have plans of coming up with an IPO sometime soon, maybe this year, coming financial year. Then on the product side, yes, we will be also looking at other diversified products on the RE space, like your whether it's a battery storage or data centers or whatever. So there are so many things happening. So we are exploring. We are at various stage of discussion. So we'll be announcing as and when we keep finalizing them. So yes, we are aggressively looking at various to expand. We are not here, as I said, just for the module part.
So, how do you keep updated on the industry trend and the what is happening in the market? Like you read something or any source.
See, reading, of course, it's something which you need to be doing on a constant basis to keep yourself updated on what's happening globally. Then you keep participating in various industry forums which are there, not only in India, domestic, even internationally, because there's so many international organizations, so they keep having these events, and so you keep updated. Then there are expos like this one where you are also, and there are some expos which are purely technology, showcasing events, like SNEC you have in China, or you have the US, we have couple of them, Europe we have couple of them. So I just keep attending most of them, trying to take out time from our day to day, because transactionally you are so involved in your day to day work that it's difficult to take out time. But yes, to keep yourself abreast of what's happening, because you need to be ahead of the technology curve, to keep ahead of what's happening. So yes, you need to take out time and keep attending all of these, and interacting with the industry leaders, the pioneers, the technology czars. Every industry has them.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts about the Smarter E India Expo, and what trends have you noticed here, since this is a day two?
Yes, so first of all, let me tell you, yesterday was the first day. So I was personally very surprised to see the footfalls. It was much more than what I had expected uh, on the first day. Today, I hope to have more than yesterday. Yeah, so it's expected to be more. Already in the morning, we are seeing the numbers are swelling. People, I can see the crowds lining up outside for the registration and coming in. So I'm hoping that it will happen very soon. Third is, of course, this is a platform which we use to interact with all our stakeholders. For example, our customers, our vendors, our distributors, dealers. So everyone. So this is a platform where we all get to come on one place, interact, exchange views. So it's not so much of a business thing, but yes, it's a good forum to catch up with all our stakeholders.
So, being an industry veteran, one message you would like to give young entrepreneurs who are looking forward to enter this industry?
Only thing is that there are no easy way outs, especially the youngsters I'm meeting today. So they are very impatient. So they think that the industry is doing very well. They have not seen the hard days when the industry was going through a trough. So my fear is that when there is a crisis, these guys will all crumble because they have not seen the tough times. So they need to be prepared mentally for the tough days also, and they need to, because this is a very fast, as I said, fast evolving industry, especially technologically. So even if you are a non-technical person, say I am a non-technical, I am not an engineer, but I also keep myself abreast of what's happening, otherwise I can't keep pace. So you need to be involved, you need to be on the constantly learning what's happening, what's new. Just to keep yourself aware. So basically, to have keep yourself aware what's happening around you, so that you can contribute productively.
Okay. So, I think the viewers will take it to the heart and will think about this. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you once again for having me.